Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming here today. First of all, let me express my deepest gratitude to Monsignor Marcelo Sánchez Orondo and Professor Stefano Samagni, who have made this international workshop possible. The main idea that I would like to share with you in this introduction is the following. We need to be aware that there is a technological global warming upon us. The risk of an abusive use of technology, which consolidates a paradigm of technocratic and dehumanizing power. Pope Francis in Laudato Si once asked about the matter, saying, "Science and technology are wonderful products of a God-given human creativity. Yet, it must also be recognized that technological advances have given us tremendous power. Never has humanity had such power over itself, yet nothing ensures that it will be used wisely, particularly when we consider how it is currently being used." Point 104. Following Pope Francis' teachings, the topic of the dignity and future of work is crucial in the context of this technological global warming. We have to rethink the very concept of work within a polyhedron that has lights and shadows. I would like to list here the 10 phases of this polyhedron that I consider strategic for the future of work. First phase. New metrics are needed to measure the impact of the exponential revolution on the pace of creation, substitution, and destruction of new jobs. We navigate without proper tools to diagnose the phenomenon and be able to establish anticipatory regulations and intelligent public policies. The estimates, according to the current methodologies used, tell us about a risk of automation of employment that goes from 10% to 5–7% of current existing tasks. A worldwide council of wise people and scholars should establish a new analytical instrument, which then translates into national statistics capable of reflecting the phenomenon of the intangible economy. We cannot travel the route of the economy of the 21st century with compass of the economy of the 19th and 20th century. Second phase, we need a 4.0 equality for the fourth industrial revolution. Rewriting the famous quote, we can say, "It is not the robots, stupid, it is the digital dividends. A digital economy cannot be managed with the autopilot mode. The risk of increasing labor polarization with tech superstars that win everything and the death of the middle class is one clear expression of the risk that this global technological warming supposes. In order for productivity increases to result in greater social integration, they have to be translated into A, lower prices, B, higher wages, C, less working during free time, and D, or greater investments. Third phase, a 4.0 equality that only means discussing macroeconomics, but also the provision of social micro-policies to combat new forms of slavery. Just for instance, GPS information for the detection of child slave labor, traceability of organs to prevent their traffic, customization of a higher quality and lower cost education, better disease prevention with digital medical records, social fintechs to lower the cost of credit for the poorest, precision agriculture to reduce the ecological footprints and avoid food waste. Technology can be a driver of change in order to deliver more efficient social policies against the modern forms of slavery. Fourth, a new digital literacy. According to a survey we conducted at the ADB in 19 Latin American countries with more than 60,000 people interviewed, 44% of young people between 18 and 25 who go hungry because they eat only once a day own a smartphone. Digital property coexists with the hunger. An educational revolution is required to take advantage of the promising experiences of social policies in Latin America. According to the evidence of many impact evaluations, conditional cash transfers have been an effective tool to reduce inequality in the region in the past decade. We have to reinvent them, incorporating tools associated with programming and code development skills. We need to think about a new generation of 4.0 conditional cash transfers, mobilizing teachers, universities, professors, scholars, and social workers. Fifth, reinventing work through the care economy, which could generate more than 500 million jobs worldwide by 2030, according to the ILO. It's not just about hard skills, but about soft skills that strengthen empathy, teamwork, and emotional intelligence. Furthermore, we need to create national, regional, and global consensus to build accelerators of the work of the future, as we propose in an extensive document that we presented to the G20, which are a combination of skills based on hard science and soft science. Sixth, reinventing work with new civil service capabilities within the public sector of our countries. Instead of technocratic tech zombies, we need techno-sapiens public servants. We have to form a new public management in big data and philosophy tools. Data analysts and philosophers, hard and soft capabilities. Starting primarily with doctors and teachers, which together represent 80% of the public spending on most of our states. And also following with the diplomacy of the trade agreements, which face the challenges of a post-container economy, where the traditional exchange of physical goods is overcome by the exchange of digital and intangible goods. And where more and more countries are appointing digital ambassadors, not only to other countries, but to the great tech giants, recognizing that the concept of sovereignty is not only territorial or spatial. Likewise, and as Pope Francis claims in his call to the March meeting in Assisi about a new economy with a soul, we need economies with a new type of professional training. Economics careers often focus only on mathematical models, which then translate into super greedy algorithms in financial markets, and that forget human beings and the real economy. We need public servants not only with augmented intelligence, thanks to the use of AI for decision making, but also with augmented humanity. Seventh, infoxication. Technological addiction and fake news represent a public health problem because they affect social cohesion, democratic quality, and labor productivity. Along with a connection and work tool, the smartphone is also a weapon of mass distraction and technological obesity. In the USA, the National Safety Council estimated that 25% of the vehicle accidents are due to cell phone. ILO estimates that 40% of total accidents occur due to distractions, where the smartphone is one of the main causes. Our electoral campaigns do not yet find adequate ways of regulation to prevent unfair competition from strategies based on misinformation. These are problems with a common ground. If information consumes attention, Informational wealth implies attention poverty. We need the tools of the behavioral economic and the scientific evaluation to better face the medical effects caused by an abusive use of technologies. We need an urgent set of public policies to deal with this social disease. Eighth, a new infrastructure that generates jobs to overcome the digital divide. It may be a paradox to speak of global technological warming when access to digital technology is insufficient in Latin America. Only 27% of the Latin American population is covered by 4G networks, compared to 77% of the population of the OECD countries. When we ask Latin Americans if they prefer to prioritize the construction of bridges or internet access as public works, an overwhelming majority choose the second one. We need to refocus the priority of our public works in terms of connectivity, green infrastructure, and sustainable energy. All of them can be powerful sources of new jobs. Technology can also serve to transparent spending on public works in our region by fighting the pandemic extension of corruption, which has destroyed our democratic fabric. Ninth, a new concept of property rights, which includes our data. As the social doctrine of the Church teaches us, property has a social function. We face a predatory model of stealing our personal data, with monopolistic gains of large corporations that not only affect the privacy of citizens, but also alter a healthy capitalist competition. The traffic of our data coexists with the traffic of our people, establishing new forms of manipulation and digital slavery. It is not only about the ownership of our data, but about the right to know what the algorithms that manipulate our data are made of. It is a new universal human right. We need the black box of the algorithms not to multiply discrimination and exclusion. Tenth and finally, overcome the ethical sleepwalking on these new technologies. Sleepwalking affects both individuals and states, and also the global community. Governments can set clear transnational rules, such as the establishment of an intergovernmental scientific panel to weigh the consequences of artificial intelligence on our planet. Why not think about how to align efforts to mitigate technological warming with specific national goals of technological use for social benefit? The set of moratoriums and ethical limits for experimentation with human beings regarding the use of biotechnology also plays a key role here. Appealing to the call of Assisi next March, Pope Francis called us to build an economy with a soul. Likewise, we have to build a technology with a soul, where the technological advancements of humanity do not translate into an economic approach where prevails the greed of dicing financial transactions, nor mathematical models of economic analysis that crush the human being. Hope is our bet beyond the existential risk, for technology with a soul at the service of the common good. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gustavo.